Hey, Matty V, thanks so much. Over here with my good friend, Sean Casey. So, Case, I've known you a long, long time, since you got drafted with...
You drafted me.
Well, you're exactly right. It's a long, long time. We're not going to talk about how many years ago that was. But, you know, the two things you did exceptionally well, I mean, your pitch recognition skills were elite, and your bat-to-ball skills were elite. So what I'd like to do for our viewers out there is first walk everybody through why hitting is so hard and why the numbers are what they are, because the velocities increase so much in our game. So we're going to start there and let everybody know. So a little scientific. Okay, everybody knows the mound to home plate is 60 feet 6 inches, but then you have to factor in a pitcher's release point and his stride length. So that's about, takes it down to 55 feet. Okay. If a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, your reaction time is about 400 milliseconds.
But you blink in 400.
You blink in 400. So it takes 100 milliseconds for your brain just to process the pitch. Your average swing time is 150 milliseconds. Then your brain tells your body to actually swing, which takes 25 milliseconds. And then you have to gauge the pitch. Okay, is it a ball? Is it a strike? Is it a pitch I want to swing at? And when you decide all of that, your window to barrel a baseball is 7 milliseconds, and you just mentioned blinking an eye is about 300 to 400 milliseconds. Right. So hitting a baseball is incredible, which then leads to the next board, which is why it is so important to be able to see pitches out of the hand earlier, because if you don't swing out a strike, you've got no chance to actually have any chance to put the ball into play. So, like this year, look at this. There have been over 90,000 pitches chased out of the zone. So go down to the bottom one. 6.6% of chase pitches result in a hit. So if you don't recognize the ball out of the hand when it leaves the hand, the further it travels to you, you've got no chance at all to hit the elite. That's at 95. So take the milliseconds down even more when you start seeing 96 to 100 miles an hour.
Wow.
But again, you were elite at this. Wow. So how were you able to, one, control the strike zone the way you did, and then two, make the decision and have such an incredible ability to barrel a baseball up when it was a strike?
After seeing those numbers, I'm not sure. You don't realize how incredible the human brain is, how incredible the athleticism and the eye-hand coordination. One thing I think, Dan, when I look back at my career and some of the elite hitters out there is I think sometimes seeing the ball gets taken for granted. And I got a few keys I want to show you that I think that, you know, one of the things that the keys to seeing the ball, I think one of the most important things we need to do is you got to take a deep breath.
So did you learn to do these things like at a young age, or did you acquire some of these skills before, as you went on in your career?
You know what? I learned to do them. I read The Mental Game of Baseball by Harvey Dorfman when I was 16 years old, and he talked a lot about process over results, process not results. And one of the things he talked about was getting that deep breath to get your body into a state so you can perform.
So did you do that in the box? Right. Or did it start over in the on-deck circle?
You know what? It did start in the on-deck circle, but right when I got in the box, I'd get right here, and I would just take a nice deep breath in through my nose and set the state to relax. Because if I got the deep breath right, I could relax, release my tension, and you know what it is, Danny? Bat speed's quicker, right?
So your hands would relax, your
everything
arms
slows,
no
everything slows down, right? My vision turns on, right? So number two here, if you go down, number two is you got to trust your eyes. You got to get off mechanics, right? So if I can take a deep breath, I always said if I get the deep breath right and set the state, I turn my vision on.
So you weren't thinking about swing or anything at that point?
No, the swing I felt like had to be left outside the box, because you just saw the numbers that you put up there. How could I think about where's my hands, where's my feet, and still hit the baseball?
So did you visualize something? Was there a cue for you when you start trusting your eyes from the pitcher's release point?
Oh yeah. Well, what I would do was, I'll show you next. One of the next things is give it up 3. So this is what you just talked about there: broad versus fine focus.
Explain that.
Okay, so I'm going to say, so the broad focus was when you're in the box, you don't want to get to that release point too soon, right? So I would broad focus the pitcher.
So you look at the entire pitcher?
I would just look at him, yeah. Sometimes what I would do is I would look at the 402 gap, you know, the sign in left center, and then I would focus on him. Okay, I got him locked in. Now, as soon as he started to make this move to me, and he got his leg up, I would now switch my eyes from broad focus to fine focus, release point.
As soon as he started his tuck,
as soon as he started to make that positive motion, I'd now picked up release point, right, with my eyes. So, and what I wanted to do, Dan, was I wanted to see it early, I wanted to see it late. I wanted to see it early, I wanted to see it deep.
So you wanted to see it early, and you wanted to see when it got into your zone.
Got into my zone, because this is the reason why. If I always call, I think out front hitting out here is hope hitting. Oh, I hope I hit the ball. It's anxious hitting, right? The best pitchers in the big leagues, they have incredible movement. That's the biggest difference among big leaguers and minor leaguers. The later I can wait to make a decision, the better I am. Now, mentally, I'm thinking yes, 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 until my eyes tell me no if it's a ball. But listen, the best pitchers in that last 3 to 5 feet, that's where you're seeing the cut and the sink. So I, as a hitter, Dan, have to be able to sit here calmly and let the ball travel and make the decision to hammer it.
And Case, let's just back up a second, because I think there's a fallacy out there about tracking a ball.
Right.
So you see the ball out of the hand. The reality is you don't see the spacing very much of that ball. You don't see seams as much as you see changes in movement pattern. Is that correct? As the ball gets closer to home plate?
Yeah, and that's why I'm hunting a zone. I'm hunting. I'm hitting. I'm up here with intention. I'm trying to look for the ball. So push them up, push them out. Something I could drive out here and get my arms extended on. Right. I'm looking in an area. My number 4 key to seeing the ball. It's going to come up right here. Here we go. One pitch at a time. I think this is where we get in trouble too, as hitters, right? One pitch at a time, focus on the task at hand. A lot of times, that guy, say I don't get my best look, Dan, and it's pain outside black, bam, strike one. You might step out 0-1 and be like, oh no, man, this guy's got nasty stuff. No, none of that stuff. Deep breath, slow myself.
You would do the deep breath
every single pitch. The deep breath resets your world. The deep breath is everything. It resets your pitch. It resets everything.
And then you would do the broad versus defined focus on every pitch.
Every pitch. This is all stuff, every pitch. And then the focus on the task at hand. My task at hand now is this pitch. I got to take a deep breath, set my state, slow myself down, hit it with intention, pick it up early, see it deep, right? Last one, and the last one I have for the keys to seeing the ball. This is where I thought was great. Think with intent, right? I would say to myself, Dan, see the ball. Ball. I would literally be in the box and be ball, see the ball, 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 ball.
Because all you were focused on was just seeing the ball.
And I think that's what happens to guys nowadays. We have all these numbers. Hey, this guy's 52% slider, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Hey, this guy, is going to do this, this, and this to you. He throws this hard. Hey, where's my hands? All this stuff. I don't have time for that. I have to get singly focused. I have to hit with intention and purpose, right? And at the end of the day, what am I trying to do? I should have taken all the swings I can in BP and in the cages. I get in here in the game, see the ball, man, hammer it. See the ball, be easy. I used to tell myself 3 things to keep it simple. See the ball, be easy, and hammer it, right? That was my thought process. I can't tell you, Danny, how many times.
Be easy was
the breath.
And relax.
Relax, man. That turns, the tension's poison. Tension's poison. I gotta release that tension, get into a state, and be ready to hit, right? See the ball and hammer it. And what I found, Dan, is the more I focused on the ball, the more I could really slow him down.
So, Case, let me ask you this. Is that why you were so great in your mind at controlling the strike zone? Because you saw the numbers when you swing at pitches outside the strike zone, you got really no chance.
No chance.
So that allowed you, just seeing the ball allowed you from the release point of the hands to your nitro zones, allowed you to control the strike zone.
It allowed me to control the strike zone, 100%. That breath was like the key to the city, and then all the other things. See the ball, keeping it simple, slowing things down, see it early, see it deep, right? I don't think that stuff's talked about enough now. I think it's we get so mechanical. We get on these machines. We talk about that stuff all the time. We talk about what these pitchers have. No. It's you versus you, Dan. At the end of the day, I'm in the box. Why was I so good at wiffle ball when I was 12 years old? Didn't know what I was doing because I'm an athlete. I got good eye-hand coordination. I got to come game time when he's on the bump and I'm in the box, I got to see the ball and hit it. I got to keep it as simple as I can.
Sean, that is just, hey, Matty V, that's why he was a 302 lifetime hitter. So you got it, buddy.
Keep it simple, Matty.